we gather to assess the progress being recorded in Nigerian tertiary institution sector under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to highlight the unprecedented support being extended to our tertiary institution and their governing council. Education remains the foundation upon which every great nation is built. The development of our universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education and specialized institutions is critical to national growth, innovation, and economic transformation. It is therefore encouraging to witness a reward commitment by the federal government toward strengthening the tertiary education system. FOGOCOM acknowledges the deliberate efforts of the federal government in providing increased attention to infrastructure development, institutional stability, improved funding mechanisms, research advancement, staff welfare, and student support initiatives across the nation's tertiary institutions. We particularly commend the administration for recognizing the strategic role of Governing Council as a key driver of institutional governance, accountability, policy implementation, and sustainable development. This restoration and strengthening of Governing Council have contributed significantly to the improved decision-making process and institutional effectiveness. The renewed hope agenda has further demonstrated that quality education is not merely a policy statement, but a national priority. Though through various interventions and reforms, tertiary institutions are receiving and support needed to improve academic standards, enhance learning environment, and produce graduates capable of competing globally. As representatives serving on the Governing Council of various federal institutions, we have witnessed firsthand and positive impact of government intervention. This effort has fostered stability, encouraged strategic planning, and strengthened the capacity of institutions to fulfill their mandates. We reaffirm our commitment to supporting policies and initiatives that advance the growth and development of tertiary education in Nigeria. We shall continue to work closely with relevant stakeholders to ensure that our institution remains center of excellence, innovation, and national development. Renewed hope achievement in the education sector under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. Several initiatives have been introduced to strengthen education, particularly in tertiary institutions. Key achievements include Student Loan Scheme, NELD Fund. One of the most significant achievements is the establishment of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELD Fund, which provides interest-free loan to students in tertiary institutions. Over 1.38 million students have benefited from this scheme. More than 242 billion has been disbursed for tuition fee and student upkeep allowance. The initiative has reduced financial barriers to higher education and expanded access for indigent students. 2. Increased access to higher education. The student loan program has enabled thousands of students who might have dropped out due to financial constraints to remain in school and complete their studies. The scheme currently covers hundreds of tertiary institutions nationwide. Strengthening tertiary institutions. The administration has continued support for tertiary institutions through intervention in infrastructural development, research funding, staff development, and institutional capacity building, largely through existing education support mechanisms. 4. Human capital development. The Renewed Hope agenda placed education at the center of national development by promoting policy that improve access, affordability, and quality of education, thereby contributing to the development of Nigerians' human capital. 5. Improve student welfare. Beyond tuition payments, eligible students receive upkeep allowance to assist with living expenses, helping them focus on their studies and reducing economic hardship.
Each and every student has been guided and enlightened, and the federal government has often the portal to be guided at every student. And that's why we are getting number almost about 1,338,000. So, respect. And Mr. President has done very well. I've never seen a president who has given intervention, total intervention to this tertiary institution. If you can go around, you can see that for intervention, Northwest or Northeast or North Central intervention, and the Prime Minister infrastructure like going on. So, for that reason, actually, having been a time that allowed me, I can give you so many achievements out of education that we, the Mr. President achieved so far within just 3 years. So, to me, we are giving good kudos to Mr. President for achievement in the tertiary institution and education, in fact.
Honestly, there is so much improvement on internet provision by the administration to all universities. They have ICT centers. Some exams are conducted through ICT means in almost all the federal universities, polytechnic, and other institutions within the country. We have physical structures being constructed, and that is why TED Fund is funded by the government. The only thing the universities need to do is to go and tell the TED Fund executive about the needs of their universities. Once those needs are being mentioned by the administration of those universities, believe you me, TED Fund provide for all the funds they need for classroom renovation, new constructions, hostel, laboratories, and lab for every part or department of the universities. Those funds are on ground. Schools are even being queried for not using those grants and funds. Most of the problems we have is within the management. Most universities, the management don't even care to actualize or use the provision made by the federal government through the TED Fund to all the universities within Nigeria.
We understand the state of insecurity even before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into government. And to be very frank and sincere,
please, one house.
Despite the couple of recent insecurity that have been inspired by the forthcoming election, specifically by politicians, I must state it very clearly, because sometimes we really need to be frank with ourselves in this country. Mr. President have done a lot in the area of combating insecurity. We've seen tremendous achievement in that area. And just recently, we begin to see this couple of, planned and calculated security activities that is being carried out by what I consider as politically motivated security activity, which we are noticing, and by God's special grace, we have seen Mr. President move into action to address each and every one of them. Most of the persons that have been kidnapped, a lot of them has, be brought back, to reunite with their families. I think just one or two that the president is still working on to ensure that every schools in Nigeria are secured and our students as well secured. Then on the issue of if we are still going to support or the need to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. You see, while we understand that a nation's challenges are systemic and there are processes and stages for management of systemic problems, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done not just tremendously well, looking at what my distinguished chairman has presented to us now, the achievement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in different sectors of this government. You will agree with me if truly we are sincere with ourselves as Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually done well and is deserving of a second term. On the grounds that we here are governing members managing different tertiary institutions in this country. We know what Mr. President has done in respect to the educational sector. it is indeed paramount, is historic. For the first time in the history of this country, we have witnessed tremendous transformation of the university or the tertiary institutions across the entire federation. Today, we have a system in the tertiary institution that is now better organized, well structured, finance are well managed, projects are being implemented, which has never been recorded in the history of this country. I have used my center as an example. Before we came in to take over management of the center, precisely the National Mathematical Center, to be very sincere with you, the place is not functioning as far as I'm concerned. But today, if you go there, you will see the transformation that has taken place, and the center is now well positioned to improve science and technology in the history of this country. There are a whole lot to mention, but time will not permit me to do that. But I want to assure you, there is no option if Nigeria really wants the good of this nation than to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come 2027.
You discover that even the people you are even feeling for, they even know more than you, the students. They are into this internet, they even have more information than me and you with regards to the issue of the student loan fund. The student loan fund has actually gone a long way, because I can recall, even when I was in Unipons, some of the students were about to drop out of the school. But with the aid of the NEF form, they were able to continue with their studies and they graduated on record time. So we should give kudos to Mr. President for initiating the NEF form, which has gone a long way to help the parents. The parents, even we that are even standing here, is even a help to, our children are equally benefiting from it. The children of the poor people, the indigent parents who are farmers, they have access to this one thing I love about this loan, it is not for only APC members. It is for Nigerians. Let me stress that very point. It is for Nigerians. Whether you belong to NDC, you belong to ADC, you belong to Labour Party, it is for every Nigerian. Once the students log into the website, fill the form, he will be guided by the school, student affairs department, to do that for the student, for them to access the loan. And this loan comes. No student, it is on record, no student that applied that has been denied the loan. They all access this very loan, and it has helped them. There was, most of them that graduated in the last academic session, they were excited about the loan form. So it is something that I was shocked when one of the presidential candidates says that it is a waste of funds. What a shame. What a shame. For that very presidential candidate to have said so. So we thank Mr. President for bringing in this very NEL fund, the student loan fund, to help our indigent parents who are in the rural areas, whose children will have left the school because of availability of funds. But thank God today they are in school. And another thing I want to say here, yes, someone mentioned the issue of ASU. Many people, let me say, the opposition people, they are not happy that ASU has not gone on strike. They are not happy. They are not. So they are doing all they can to see that ASU goes on strike. But that will not happen. Because our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is on top of the game. And the needs for one to have requested for needs of about say 100, and the president has graciously granted 90 or 95. I think we should give him kudos. Let's give our president the kudos. That is fair. So to our brothers and sisters, this president, by his grace and power, he has performed with regards to issue of attending to the needs of the indigent students in school.